Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 6 to 10 of chapter 3. Karmendriyani sanyamya,
Karmendriyani sanyamya,
ya aste manasa smaran,
ya aste manasa smaran,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
yastvindriyani manasa,
yastvindriyani manasa,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
karmendriyai karmayogam,
Karmendriyai karmayogam,
asakta savishishyate,
asakta savishishyate,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
karmajyayo hyakarmanaha,
karmajayo hyakarmanaha,
sharirayatra pichate,
sharirayatra pichate,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
yajñarthat karmanonyatra,
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
lokoyam karma bandhanaha,
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
tadartham karma kaunteya,
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara,
मुक्त युक्तसङ्गः समाचर
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
येषवोस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last few sessions, we have been seeing what this karma bandhana is, because he has given so much of importance to that. You need to understand how karma inherently binds you. Now it is very interesting when you know how something binds you, then you can find a way to do the reverse process, which is what is karma yoga. Left to itself, karma has this nature of binding a person. So you need to learn to unwind. Supposing someone takes a rope and ties you on a chair. Now, when you get to know how exactly that person has tied the rope around you, then if you just do the reverse, you would be able to free yourself. So, karma yoga is nothing but doing the same activity in the opposite way. We are going to see that when we get into this portion of yajnarthat karmanaha. Karma is common. If you do it in a particular way, it is going to lead to bandhanaha, he says. Bondage. Now, if you do it in a different way, which he calls as yajna, then the same karma will no longer bind you. Rather, it will liberate you. That is the beauty of this whole thing. Because this question may be in your mind, why should we study how karma causes bondage? Straight away, why not we learn how to liberate ourselves? The master can give that, but your mind will not have any understanding or value to what the master is giving. Unless you know the process of bondage, how can you know the process of freeing yourself? If you learn the process of bondage and stop with that, that is a very pessimistic way of going about it. He is not doing that. He is actually saying this is the process how you have bound yourself without any awareness through the process of karma. Now he says, I will teach you how you can unwind all the fetters, all the bondages, and become completely free. The tool is one and the same, that is karma. The same rope which has been tied around you. Now that rope only has to be used to free you also. It is a very deep science. That is why it is called the Shastras. Shastra means science. Yoga Shastra. By the end of every chapter, we chant a couple of lines. Where thus in this chapter, Lord entitled this, is a conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. We chant that, in that Yoga Shastra, that phrase is there. Why is he calling it as Yoga Shastra? It is the science of yoga. It is a science of uniting with the infinite. So just because you are in action, don't think you're doing karma yoga. Many people have this misconception. They say, okay, all the knowledge and devotion, all these things are there. Ultimately, we have to do karma yoga. So let me just be acting. He says that action can actually bind you completely. So just because you're being busy or you have engaged yourself in action, it doesn't mean you are growing spiritually. Are you using that action to bind yourself, or are you using that action to liberate yourself? That is the question. Karma, when done in a wrong way, can lead to bandhana, bondage. Karma, when done in a yogic way, which is called karma yoga, will lead to liberation, moksha, nirvana. One leads you to finiteness, the other leads you to the infinite. One gets you enmeshed in the net of stress and strain. The other liberates you and makes you free and gets you merged with that infinite peace and happiness. That is why this phrase karma bandhanaha is so important. Karma is in the center. Now, are you going to go down with it or are you going to move up? You cannot escape karma. You cannot escape action. That we have seen the previous verses also. Inaction means death. So you have to do some karma. It could be, as I told you, physical action, it could be speech, it could be emotions, it could be thoughts. Thoughts are nothing but subtle karmas. So you will have to engage yourself in karma. But now when you go down, when you devolve, then that's what he calls as karma bandhanaha. Whereas when you evolve, it becomes karma yoga. It becomes a path for you to liberate yourself. It becomes the path for you to merge with that infinite supreme reality. What is the difference between a yogi and a normal person? It is not that a yogi does any special activities, not required. He does every activity, every karma, just like anybody else. But all others do those karmas in such a way that they go down, whereas the yogi has mastered this technique of doing the same activity and evolve. So you don't need to do any special activities. You need to do whatever activities which you're doing in a special way. That is Karma Yoga. According to your roles in life, you have various actions set out for yourself. It all depends on what your roles are, what is your age, what phase of life you're in. All these things will determine the course of action, the course of duty which you need to undertake. You cannot run away from that. But all you need to learn is to do whatever activities which you're doing in a sadhana way, in a yogic way. And when you learn that secret, you cannot learn it at one go. It takes years and years of practice to master that. See, one is to just get informed about these things. But in order to gain full mastery over that, which means everything which comes out of you should thereafter start evolving or expanding your consciousness towards infinite. It is only at that point you can say, I have mastered this yogic way of functioning. Just because you have learnt a few principles intellectually and you can explain it to a few others, really does not mean anything. What is happening within you, you need to reflect, you need to self-introspect. Swadhyaya means the study of oneself. You need to see what is happening within you. Today, there is absolutely no awareness at all. The thick and thin of your activities, the busy nature of your activities is keeping your mind 100% preoccupied. It is not allowing you, it is not giving you any time to look within and see what is happening within you. So here is an opportunity. Every Sunday, when you're watching this, it is not a mere discourse you're watching. We are not learning merely the Bhagavad Gita as an external text. The secrets of life are being expounded to you systematically. Secrets of whose life? Secrets of your life. Sometimes some people send mails, They say, "Oh, Yogishri, I want to apologize. I didn't watch last Sunday's session." Now, I want to tell such sadhaks. Some people say, I skipped here and there some Sundays, so I want to say sorry. Or some others even say, I want to apologize because last 1 month I was not so consistent in my personal sadhana of Yoga Sankirtan. Now, to all these sadhaks who are apologizing for skipping sadhana, now I want to give a message. There is nothing for you to say sorry to Yogishri, because whether you watch these sessions or not, whether you do your Yoga Sankirtan sadhana or not, what difference does it make to Yogishri? Just think a little bit, no? What is there to apologize? If you say, I skipped the Sunday sessions, I skipped the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, it is for me to feel sorry for you. So stop this trend, of apologizing for not doing sadhana. Instead, start doing your sadhana. Instead of focusing on what ought to be done, your mind always keeps focusing on something else. If you watch every Sunday, if you do your Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, you're going to benefit. If you're not consistent there, you're not going to benefit. As simple as that. So you have to feel sorry for yourself. Oh, I have missed a great opportunity. Because a master always feels sorry for the student when the student has an opportunity and doesn't use it. Actually, if you read the Bhagavad Gita and all the other scriptures, one message stands out from these great masters. That is, they say you have got this human birth which is so precious. Aridu aridu manidarai pirappadaridu, said that great Tamil poet. No? So such a precious birth has been acquired by you. Now, instead of using that to evolve and become one with the infinite, if you just get into more and more bondage, if you don't do any sadhana in your life, these great masters, these great yogis genuinely, look at such people with compassion. Karuna bhava, as it is called in Sanskritam. What a great opportunity this person had. And instead of using that to its fullest, that opportunity has been frittered away. How sad it is. So don't waste your time saying sorry to your guru and all that. Instead, from this moment onwards, what should I do? If you think you have not done something properly, correct it. How long are you going to continue in the same pattern of the past? That is why we have been seeing the karma bandhanaha from the standpoint of the cause and effect. We've been seeing the various dimensions of this. No, why? So that you can free yourself from the past and you can completely transform yourself, become a new person. The tools are being provided to you. Now, whether you use these tools properly or not, that is in your hands only. Remember, a yogi is like a person who is sitting on top of the hill and he is watching everyone. To the best of his ability, he gives this wisdom, not merely in the verbal form, but the primary work of a yogi is to give that energy, that Shakti. Sometimes he may give it in the form of wisdom, sometimes he may give it in the form of music. There are various ways of doing that. But what is most important is the Shakti or the energy behind it. He gives that. That is where his duty ends. Now thereafter, how each one wants to use that energy, whether the person is going to use it or whether that person will just waste that opportunity, all that is not in his hands. And there is a rule given to the yogis. They are not supposed to interfere with anyone's karmas, because we have to respect everyone, every human being, because he or she has a choice. And it is your choice only. Lord Krishna also demonstrates that respect for the capacity to choose in a human being. Much, much later, he utters this famous phrase, Yatha Ichchasi Tatha Kuru. Means, as a part of my duty, I have given you this highest wisdom, Arjuna. Now, Yatha Ichchasi Tatha Kuru. Do whatever you think is right. I have given you the guidance. Now, I cannot come and interfere with your choice. Very, very powerful message he gives to the entire humanity. So, if you want to become a powerful sadhak, if you want to master Karma Yoga, the first thing is you need to take responsibility for whatever is happening in your life. Whether it is good things which are happening or whether things are going wrong, it is you and you alone who is responsible. Now, when these masters are saying, take up the responsibility on yourself for this life, for your life, it doesn't mean they are asking you to blame yourself. That is how, again, people have misunderstood this. Taking responsibility is such a great moment in a sadhak's life, because when you take the responsibility for your own life, now you become very powerful. You can change your life. You get that capacity. It is only a question of learning these techniques. It is only a question of showing the intent to do sadhana and following it up with your consistent efforts. But when you don't take responsibility for your life, then you will never improve, you will never transform your life, because you will only be looking for excuses. This ought to be done. Why am I not doing this? Because of these things. Why am I not doing it? Because of these things. Any company you go to work for, you will say, my boss is not okay, this person is not okay, the team is not okay. but I am okay. That is the indirect message. It doesn't work that way. If you want to get positive results in your life, now you should stop depending on anything or anyone. You should start creating positivity in your life, and you will start creating positivity only if you take responsibility. I have created the past. I can create the future. That is the obvious statement which will come next. Whatever is happening to me is because of what I have done in the past. I am only further elucidating the law of karma. Now, the moment you take that responsibility, whatever is happening to me in my life is because of my past actions. Now, you have a genuine opportunity to change it. Because if I have done certain things to create this, now I can do the opposite things to create whatever it is that I want. But if you say, whatever is happening to me in my life is because of this person, is because of that person, then you become powerless. Now, your life is being handed over to somebody else. Is the other person's behavior really under your control? No. If you say, my life, that is whatever is happening in my life, is because of certain planetary positions, again, you are handing over your life to some planets. You become powerless. So, law of karma says that don't hand over the control of your life to anything outside you. Take up that responsibility. This is the main step in karma yoga. Without taking up this responsibility for yourself, if you keep acting, you will act in a mechanical way. And wherever you go, you will keep on blaming others. I know a person who was working in a company. Now he blamed the boss, he blamed the team, then he resigned from there, moved to another job. Same complaints were there. Again, the boss is not good, the team is not good. Resigned, moves to the third company. Again, the same complaints. That he is not good, he is. What about you? What is going wrong with your attitude? The day you start thinking on these lines, then that is the day where your life transformation has started. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha means that Supreme Lord said. Physically, the Supreme Lord gave this wisdom to Arjuna 5,000 years back. You're reading it. But it is when you take that responsibility for your life that truly speaking, the Supreme Lord has started speaking to you. That is when you truly absorb the Bhagavad Gita, the song, the great divine song of the Lord. That Lord, that God is within you only. And that God is always speaking to you. That Infinite is always showing you the way. The Guru Shakti is a manifestation of that Infinite. It functions within you, it functions outside you. And the only aim of the Guru Shakti is to help you learn the lessons of life. But you are not tuned into that. You don't really hear Bhagavan Uvacha. Why? Because you're so busy blaming others for what is happening in your life. Again, I am not saying you should now blame yourself. There is a difference between taking up responsibility and blaming yourself. I'll explain the difference and then we'll move on. Because a lady has sent mail, not only her, there are many sadhaks at different periods of times who have expressed similar views. That is, what she has mentioned is, sir, when you spoke about the law of karma, she says, I am having a problem with my spouse. Now it suddenly got me into a very agitated frame of mind, because now he is not responsible for the problem. I am only now responsible. That is what the law of karma says. So it got me into a further agitated frame of mind. How do I solve it? This is the question which she has asked. Now the answer to that is, you have not taken responsibility. You have only taken up the blame. Now, law of karma is not being explained to find out who has done mistakes in life. It is not to play the blame game. Please understand this. Whether the other person has done, whether you have done, now that is not the point. What happened? What has been done? And how do you rectify it? That is the focus of law of karma. So blaming yourself means saying, oh, no, I'm only the cause for this. And then you don't do anything about it. You just get agitated, you get more stressed, and slowly you go down in your spirits also. You lose all your confidence. That is called blaming yourself. Taking up the responsibility means you find out, oh, this is what the cause for the problem is. And your aim is very clear. Your aim is to solve the problem, to resolve the issue. With that aim in mind, when you say, yes, when you ask yourself, what are the seeds which I have sown in life, which is bringing, which are bringing about these undesirable results, then you are actually attempting to find a way out of this. You are not just sitting there and blaming yourself. So there is a world of a difference between taking up a responsibility and blaming. So if you blame others, you become a victim. You become powerless. That's what in effect you're saying. If you blame yourself, you will become guilty. You will lose your self-confidence. So we are not talking about blaming either the other person or yourself. We are not talking about blaming any circumstance in life, anyone including yourself. We are only talking about taking responsibility in life so that you can transform it and create whatever it is that you want. The ego in you wants to blame, but the spirituality within you urges you to take up the responsibility. Again, it's a choice. Everyone chooses to blame either others or themselves. Both will lead to karma bandhana. But a sadhak chooses to take responsibility and arrives at a proper solution that will elevate you. So this answer which is being given, it is not merely for that lady who has asked, but this is a message for all the sadhaks. Don't take the easy way out and get into a blaming mode. That's what I've made it very clear. Whether you blame the other person or whether you blame yourself, your position is the same. But take this higher path of karma yoga, take up the responsibility and change your life for the better. So, when we talk of karma bandhanaha, first we saw it from the viewpoint of action and consequence. Every action has a consequence. Once you act, then you are bound by the consequence. This is what we first saw. So never ever think that your actions have no consequence. Even if you do those actions all alone where no one else is seeing you, still that action will have its consequence. That is why these great masters say, you don't act for others, act according to your own conscience. In the Puranas, they have described a character called Chitragupta. Who is this Chitragupta? Chitragupta is a person who looks at the karmic accounts of every soul after that person dies in the Yamaloka. Yama being the god of death, his loka in his world. Chitragupta looks at the karmic accounts. He is the chief accountant, we can say, of Yamaloka. When somebody dies, the soul goes there, he takes up the karmic book, accounts book. What are all the debits, negative karmas you have done? What are all the positive karmas, credits which you have done? Now and then he sees the balance. He says, for these things, you need to go through these punishments. For these things, you will be rewarded. Various things. Now, it's been put in a beautiful, dramatized form. Now, you need to understand the deeper meaning of this. See, all the Puranas are meant to give deeper principles, to explain the deeper principles of life. What is the meaning of Chitragupta? Chitra means pictures. Gupta means hidden. Hidden pictures. Chitragupta is a part of your own conscience. Every time you're doing something, the Chitragupta, the energy of Chitragupta within you, that is that aspect of conscience within you, goes on taking pictures of it. This is put in a poetic way, That's why hidden pictures. So Chitragupta is the internal camera which you have within you, which is your own conscience. So you may fool anyone else in the world, but you can't fool yourself because your conscience is continuously taking those hidden pictures, and those hidden pictures become karmas, impressions deep within you. According to that only, the consequences come in your life. That is why we started off with saying karma means action. Karma also means the consequence of action. And when you act, you cannot avoid the consequence. Why? Because of these hidden pictures, Chitragupta. It's, the Puranas are impregnated with such deep messages. Unfortunately, people are so involved with the incidents and they never get into the deeper messages. So that is why the great masters say, always follow your conscience. See, in the eyes of others, what are you? But all alone, what are you? That is the question. In the eyes of others, you may be someone. That is the image which you have projected. But when you are all alone by yourself, that is what you are. Even people who are in the spiritual field, full time, I'm talking of people who are full time in the spiritual field. Now, they need to understand that there is a big difference between spiritual image and true spirituality. What others think about a person is that person's spiritual image. But what that person truly is, that is that person's spirituality. That's why the great masters, yogis, siddhas, they never consider themselves as masters. The world called them masters. That is the spiritual image. But what was their focus? Their focus was only in being united with the infinite. Most people get confused there. See, what happens is, when you keep on projecting a false image about yourself to others, after a while, the mind creates such an illusion, the ego creates such an illusion that your own mind will start believing it. In psychology, they say that if you tell a lie 182 times, then you yourself will start believing it. I strongly suggest don't experiment with that. You will get into problem. So, you're constantly projecting yourself as someone outside, but what you are inside is somebody else. Now, when you understand that every action has its consequence, the further development of that is every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. Now, when you understand these things, then you will not fall for these images. Rather, your focus will be on what am I? What are the causes which I am creating all the time? It doesn't matter whether people think I'm right or wrong, but my focus should be on doing the right things in the right way. See, supposing, let us say, you make a mistake. Nobody else recognizes that. Nobody else sees that. Does it make your action right? If you're a normal person, you will be happy. Nobody saw, nobody noticed it, thank God, and you go away, and you will go away. But if you're a sadhak, no. You will not be happy with that situation. Here is a mistake, so let me correct it. The moment you start living a life according to your conscience, then you've understood the law of karma in the truest sense of the term. And when everyone acts according to his or her conscience, such a society will be a glorious society. Such a nation will prosper externally, and such a nation will also prosper spiritually, internally. So, number one, every action has a consequence. Number two, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. So the cause becomes the effect, and then again there is an embedded potential of a cause in the effect itself to create future effects. This is the law of karma. You keep on acting and you are creating effects. And as you are creating effects, you are getting bound by those effects. That is the karma bandhanaha. The cause is karma, the effect is also karma in this cycle. And in this cycle, now your soul, when we say you, we mean the jivatma, the individual soul, is getting further and further bound. What an amazing principle this is which he is giving. Karma bandhanaha is constantly happening. So he says, get out of this karma bandhanaha. The second portion of the verse is again, he's getting into the direct instruction mode, Oh, Kaunteya, give up attachment and perform action for the sake of that, for the sake of yajna. He gives that instruction in a very inspired way. The master is inspired. Now the thing is, you have to get inspired. Then only your life will change. So, we saw the karma bandhanaha from these two aspects, and then we were seeing how the karma bandhanaha happens from the standpoint of impressions. So every incident which happens in your life sets a reaction in your mind. And when your mind reacts very strongly, emotionally to any incident, now that creates an impression in the deeper layers of your mind. Those impressions are called psychic impressions. Those psychic impressions actually create an energy field within you, and that energy field attracts positive and negative incidents, further positive and negative incidents into your life. A yogi is one who has burnt up all those psychic impressions which are stored in your karmic body. Why is it that they called it as karma sharira? Karmic body. That is where all your karmas are stored. Sadhana is a way by which you can burn up all those impressions. Any sadhana which you do, unless and until it goes up to the burning up of the impressions level, that sadhana cannot be effective. The Yoga Sankirtan meditation and the other empowerment meditations which are being given in the empowerment courses, those are all the most powerful sadhanas, the most powerful tools which are being given to you. And when you do them consistently, slowly, the healing energy will start penetrating your mind, and that will go right up to the karmic body, the karma sharira, and it will start burning up all the karmas. And when that burning up process keeps happening over a period of time, you will find your personality gets changed completely and your whole life becomes so wonderful. So this psychological truth was discovered by the great yogis and siddhas. That every time you react, now it forms a scar, it forms an impression in the deeper layers of your personality. Actually, the yogis have calculated this with utmost precision. They say it happens in a cycle of 7. Sapta Sapta. That's a very famous phrase which is there in the Upanishads, which is there in many Shastras, as a Sapta Sapta. 7 by 7. From the standpoint of sadhana, from the when we use the yogic approach, what is the Sapta Sapta, 7 by 7? They say that when you react to a situation, if you don't do anything about it, now in 7 seconds, it moves to the first layer of the mind. It goes a little inside. If you don't do anything about it there also, then they say in 7 minutes, it goes further deep. And then in 7 hours, it goes further deep. 7 days, it goes very much deep. And then 7 months, it goes very, very deep. It becomes a karma, a psychic impression. And then 7 years, it further gets doubled or tripled. The intensity, the force we're talking about. And then in 7 janmas, 7 births, you get further entangled because the intensity, the force of those impressions become even more high if you don't do anything about them. This is what the yogis discovered. I am actually expounding the secret science of the yogis and siddhas. This is Bhagavad Gita is a yoga shastra. Upanishads is a yoga shastra. Yoga, when we use the word yoga, we are not restricting it to merely physical movements. That is also a small aspect of yoga. But real yoga means union with the infinite. It's derived from the Sanskritam root yuj, which means uniting. Uniting to what? Uniting with that infinite, with that supreme reality. So you may follow anything you want in life, but are you uniting back? Are you getting connected with the infinite? That is the question. So these great yogis and siddhas have given us this wisdom. So it is up to you to absorb that and start doing your sadhana. Now, when these impressions are being created within you, what happens after a while is, deeper the impressions, the more difficult it becomes to erase them. It's like a cloth, supposing some ink spills on the cloth. Now, if it is just a superficial stain, you just wipe it off with water, it will go away. Now, if it penetrates into the next layer, then merely wiping with water will not be enough. You take some soap and you put it. If it penetrates deeper and deeper, You may have to use some special kinds of soaps or special liquids to remove that stain. It becomes more and more difficult. The same thing with respect to your personality also. Difficult but not impossible. Given the good period of time and given the fact that the person does consistent sadhana and in a humble way receives the grace of the Guru Shakti and does his or her sadhana, the whole thing can be wiped out. So why is it being said, do the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana every day? Do the Yoga Sankirtan. The Yoga Sankirtan meditation sadhana is the most powerful sadhana because it deals directly with the karmic body. It deals directly with the impressions. The empowerment sessions which we have, we are again dealing directly with the karmic body in a more powerful way than when you do the sadhana all alone. And in the future, we'll see the principle of prati-prasava, that's a prati-prasava sadhana, that also empowerments will be given, but that will be very, very powerful. I really don't know whether it can be done online. We'll have to see that. Whatever instructions I receive in the meditation, that I'll pass it on to you, because there are very, very advanced yogic siddha techniques by which you can actually perform like an operation, on the karmic body and burn up those impressions very fast. But the energy will be so powerful that you will not be able to take it. That is why the preparation is very much required, the purification is very much required, guidance of a guru is extremely required for these subtle advanced sadhanas. We'll see that in the future. But this is what it is. When you are loaded with a lot of impressions, then you are more stressed. You are more into the state of bandhana, bondage. When your impressions become less, the bondage becomes less. And when you have no impressions, you are completely free. You become a sthita prajna. You become one with the infinite. So, incidents or action, mental reaction, which leads to the formation of impressions. And what happens is, your entire behavior, your speech, your thoughts, your emotions, everything is controlled by those impressions only. Have you noticed sometimes you get a negative emotion on seeing something and you don't know why? Why are you reacting like that? Why are you generating that kind of a thought or emotion? Sometimes you dislike something in a very strong way. It means there are certain psychic impressions which are stored deep within you, coming from the past. That is what is making you generate that emotion. That external object or person or incident is triggering those impressions. Immediately it comes out as a particular thought or emotion. Very interesting. So if you want to gain mastery over yourself, over your own behavior, over your own emotions, over your own thoughts, you need to remove or gain control over these impressions which are the root cause. And those psychic impressions are also called karma only. So from this level or from this dimension of impressions. Now karma yoga is nothing but a way by which you burn up the karmas, to burn up all these psychic impressions. When you add on to those psychic impressions, that is the wrong way of doing karma. It will lead to karma bandhanaha. So last week we saw this in brief. I'm only further elucidating on this and giving you more subtle points. So every empowerment course which is being given to you, now the focus in that is going to be working on the karmic body. The topic may change. The emphasis may be different, like different names we are giving to different courses. Last December we had Finding Rhythm in Life. Prior to that we may have had Prana Tattva level 1, Kaya Tattva, the wisdom of the body. All these things we had. Now by the end of this month we are going to have another empowerment, the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment for this year. And the emphasis is going to be on unfolding your inner powers. That is the powers, the spiritual powers, divine powers. Unfolding your inner divine powers. Now, even though that phrase may be different from some other phrase which was given earlier, one thing is common among all these empowerments, that is dealing with the karmic body, performing operations, as it were, on the karmic body. So the more successful you are in burning up these impressions and releasing these impressions, you'll start feeling very, very light, because the bandhanaha, the bondage, is removed. See, when somebody ties you, now you feel very restricted. Now when these bondages are removed, you start feeling very light in life. It is not the amount of scriptural knowledge you have that matters. The very knowledge itself can become a bandhanaha, can become a source of bondage if you're not careful. So, karma bandhanaha, doing action in that way that it can bind you. Now we have to learn to do actions to liberate you. So with regards to this action, reaction and impressions, there is one thing which you need to practice on a daily basis. When you're doing your Yoga Sankirtan meditation, now you go on doing the deep breathing. Every audio material, the meditation material which has been given to you, has been designed with a basic minimum and maximum level of energy. Because you're doing it alone, so if too much of energy is also awakened, you will not know how to handle it. That we will be seeing in the empowerment courses. So when you do the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana with your deep breathing, now these impressions will start surfacing. You may feel like crying, you may get anger, memories of incidents may come. What happened yesterday, what happened day before yesterday, what happened 6 months back, what happened 10 years back. Now you should not analyze, you should understand it means the energy has reached the karmic body and it is coming to the surface. So what you need to do is just keep continuing with the deep breathing and breathe through all these emotions, thoughts and memories. Sometimes you may get physical sensations also. You may get some pains, you may get some vibrations. Don't worry about anything. Just continue to do your deep breathing with full awareness. Neither encourage those experiences nor suppress those experiences. Be a witness and go on doing the deep breathing. One by one, they will all get released. And when we have the empowerment, for example, we're going to have the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment this month end. Now, in that course, this process will be intensified because the transference of energy will be happening. So, naturally, the intensity will be very high, and you cannot really quantify that. So, there again, you will be following the same process. Anyway, I'll be giving the instructions, but you can start practicing this in your personal sadhana. So don't sit for Yoga Sankirtan meditation with the idea of let me now concentrate, let me now. All that will build up a stiffness. Just relax, close your eyes. Gently you place your palms on your thighs like this, facing upwards. And once you close your eyes, you're playing the audio material. Just go with the flow of the energy in a relaxed way. Keep doing deep breathing. Don't look for the impressions to come out also. That anxiety also will prevent the release. Just go with the flow of the energy. And whatever happens, let the release process be very, very simple and natural. So kindly don't confuse Yoga Sankirtan with other forms of Sankirtan. I've mentioned it in the Nirvana Shatkam Yoga Sankirtan. No? There are 4 types of Sankirtan. Bhajana Sankirtan, Nama Sankirtan, Dhyana Sankirtan and Yoga Sankirtan. Bhajana Sankirtan means singing bhajans. There you will have to sing loudly. Nama Sankirtan means focusing on the names of God and repeating that with full vigor. There you will have to participate externally. That purpose itself is different. Dhyana Sankirtan means getting into deeper meditation with the Sankirtan. Yoga Sankirtan is even one step more. It is the using of sound vibration. The entire sadhana is inside. So just because that word Sankirtan is there, no need to get confused. Oh, I'm already doing Nama Sankirtan or I'm already into bhajans. Now what is this Yoga Sankirtan? That's why here we are calling it as Yoga Sankirtan Dhyana. Yoga Sankirtan meditation. It is a different sadhana altogether. It's the internal sadhana. It deals with the karmic body. Okay? Is this clear? So we'll stop with that. There are a lot of subtle points which have been given today. Last week I had introduced to you the concept of cause and effect. Now you may say, sir, I've already read it in some other book. That is all fine. Every time we get to this, to get to any point, you should have that freshness as if you're studying it for the first time. Then only you will benefit maximum from it. So today, in today's session, I've given you more subtle points. Externally the points may be the same, but a lot of subtle tips have been given. So you reflect on them and start practicing them. Before we go to the Nididhyasana meditation, I'll take up one question. This question has been sent by Srinivas Bhatula from United States. Hari Om Sir, Namaste. Thank you very much for all your guidance that you had been giving. Here is my question about Yoga Sankirtan empowerment session. During the session in the week of 25th March, and especially during the portion when you start the Yoga Sankirtan meditation, should we place the energy cards in front of us which we use during our daily sadhana? It's a very relevant question which Srini has asked. Yes, in this year's empowerment session, we are going to use the energy cards. I'll be anyway asking you to keep the energy card in front of you, and I'll be asking you to use that, stare at it for a while. That is, staring is called Trataka, or that is a yogic practice, advanced practice that we'll see in the future. But this is a very basic practice. I'll ask you to look at that for a while, and when you are doing that, from here a lot of energy will be sent, will be invoked. So your card will get further energized, and a lot of energy flow will start within you also. So we will be using the energy cards. So right from now itself, every day when you're doing your sadhana, start using the energy cards. As I told you, write your name at the back of the card to get that connection. There, don't say, oh, I am not this body, I am the Atman. If you're at that level already, then it is not required. But you are not at that level. Let us be very practical. So when you write your name and keep it, and every day when you're doing your sadhana, you're establishing a personal connection. And all the time you are associating your name with your physical body. Here you are learning to associate your individuality represented by your name with the divine energy. So the healing, when it is being given, will get intensified. That is why. Okay. So anyway, when we have the empowerment session, I'll be giving you the training, I'll be making you use those cards. So have them ready. Start the process in your personal sadhana on a daily basis. So now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into a state of total relaxation. Feel the divine vibrations.
With every breath, I am going deep into myself. I am not this body. I am not these various emotions and thoughts. I am that supreme, infinite reality. From this moment onwards, I take full responsibility for my life. I have the power to create my life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating.
Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very deep session today with a lot of subtle points. So as I told you, it's not that you know these things once, now I know it. It's not that. Ego will want to get into that feeling, I know everything. But never allow that. Keep on soaking yourself in this wisdom. Actually, as a practice, what you can do is every Sunday you're attending these sessions, and then every day you're doing your Yoga Sankirtan sadhana. Now, apart from that, every day you can just listen to a portion of these discourses, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to keep in touch, just to be connected. And you will keep on receiving that energy, Many sadhaks are doing that, and they say that the benefits which they are getting are immense. So others can practice that, especially right now, because that will prepare you further for the upcoming Yoga Sankirtan Empowerment Program. As you know, it's happening from 25th for 5 days. The 5 Yoga Sankirtan meditation material will be used and the empowerment will be given. So every year when you're receiving the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment, it gets reinforced more and more, and your karmas will get burnt up. From the moment you register, the healing energy would have started flowing. Every day I'm sitting and giving the healing to prepare you to be able to take that energy which is going to be so powerful during this empowerment session. What you can do is add on this practice also. Throughout the week, you can at least watch 5 minutes every day, minimum 5 minutes. If you want to watch more, so you can do. But this is apart from your personal Yoga Sankirtan practice. It will help you to be connected with the Guru Shakti. So I want you to become very, very focused. It is your life, and the more focused you are, the Master will be able to give you so much, and you will be able to receive that fully. That is the whole idea. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.